It's time for Fridays with AI, where we ask AI to rewrite Philly sports history. Every Friday, only on This Day in Philly Sports History.
That's right. It is Friday. We spend Fridays with AI, brought to you as always by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. It's just a matter of time before the Jahan Duran shirts come out. So go to Philly Goat, check out what they have to offer, and be sure to use that promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. So, of course, post-trade deadline, I was up a little bit later last night waiting for the conversation for AI to kind of crunch the numbers and everything. But I asked AI to play out the rest of the season with all the teams' updated rosters and specifically focus on what the Phillies' new additions are going to do. So according to AI, Phillies and Mets will battle down the stretch into September, with the Phillies eventually pulling away. Bader is pretty solid for them, but not spectacular. Has some key hits during that stretch run in September. Ends up hitting .264, 4 homers, and 25 RBI for the Phils after the trade. Kind of works into sort of a three-man platoon with Marsh and Justin Crawford, who does get called up eventually at some point in August, according to AI. So the three of them sort of platoon between left and center. Didn't mention anything specifically about Max Kepler, but to me, that just sort of assumes that he's going to be DFA, cut, traded, whatever. So that's good news if you are a Justin Crawford fan. Bryce continues his hot streak, gets hot down the stretch, approaches almost 30 home runs for the season, gets his average up to about 290, which would be nice. And like I said, I think not far off. If the Phillies are going to be successful, it all starts with Bryce, and everybody else needs to do their job. So we'll see how that plays out. But AI is big on Bryce having a big 2-month stretch here down the toward the end of the season. Kyle Schwarber ends up the season with 53 home runs, second most in team history. Bomer ends up missing way more time with the rib injury than what originally was expected, leading to Otto Kemp getting more playing time. And the more playing time he gets, the better he gets in the field at third base, and the better his bat gets. So I know my boy John Foley is rooting for Otto Kemp to become the all-time Phillies home run leader for guys named Otto. According to AI, it happens within the next couple of weeks. Andrew Painter comes up and has a Marty Bystrom-like, AI said. And if you're an older listener, you know Marty Bystrom was a rookie who came up and really helped the Phillies for that 1980 World Series run. He does come up and does have an impact, and then kind of fills in as sort of the cleanup role in the bullpen once the postseason starts. What else did AI say about that? Oh, Duran ends up, obviously he's the closer, comes in, saves 11 games, has a 2.75 ERA, electrifies the crowd, becomes an immediate fan favorite for the fans down at Citizens Bank Park. So what does it mean for the team success? According to AI, they do pull away from the Mets, win the division with 94 wins. And that's good enough for the number 1 seed. They predict that the teams in the West, the Cubs and the Brewers, are all going to beat up on each other. So the Phillies sneak in with the 1 seed with 94 wins. Dodgers get the 2 seed. Brewers win the NL Central. And that means the Mets, Padres, and Cubs are the wild card teams. So in the postseason, Phillies obviously get that bye, and right out of the gates, they get the rematch with the Mets in the divisional series. And just like the rest of the summer plays out, go back and forth. This goes 5 games, but the Phillies bullpen is the difference in this series as they win 3-2, setting up yet another rematch. You're going to see a consistent theme here with the Padres in the NLCS. Phillies win that kind of easily in 6 games, 4-2. The offense really snaps out of it. Bryce has a big series, and then the bullpen once again is electric. So according to AI, the bullpen is really going to come together and be a strength of this team down the stretch, setting up a World Series match another rematch with the Dodgers with the Yankees from 2009. Phillies this time win it in 6. Duran, very Brad Lidge-esque, comes in. The crowd is electric in Game 6, saves the game against the heart of the Yankees order. It's poetic justice for 2009. Citizens Bank Park, we see the World Series, and this team didn't really want to get into the offseason because there's so many different wormholes to go down there. But according to AI, the two additions do make the difference. I don't necessarily think this is that far-fetched. If the Phillies can come out of the National League, I think they have a decent shot to beat anybody coming out of the American League. Be great to have that rematch against the Yankees. It'd actually be a rematch of the 1950 World Series as well. But the Phillies finally get it done, led by Duran, who is just money down the stretch and even better in the playoffs. And again, it's not that far-fetched. The people in Vegas are saying Phillies are the second betting favorites. But let me know your thoughts on what AI has in store for the rest of the season. I know a lot of people are not happy with what happened yesterday. But again, there's not sticking up, and I'm mad for the second straight day. I'm sticking up for Dombrowski. But I'm not going to. There's a lot of moving pieces. You don't know what asking prices were. There weren't a ton of right-handed bats available, and the last thing we need is another left-handed bat. So I'm okay with it. AI is very good with it, saying the Phillies win the World Series after going through the gauntlet of Phillies rematches, beating the Mets, the Padres, and then the Yankees to bring home their third World Series title. But let me know your thoughts. 267-495-8531. That's the Back to the Future voice and text line. Is AI crazy? I don't know. Maybe they didn't have time to crunch the numbers, but I did, like I said, check back on it. And the Phillies are the second favorite to win the World Series right now at post-trade deadline. So that's got to mean something. That is Fridays with AI, though. As always, Fridays with AI is brought to you by Philly Goat. Use that promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order.